And we all are just laughing because
It's a light
bulb. What do you think? It's a light bulb! So, it's a light bulb. But in leadership, we hear about it from Mr. Squires that, thank goodness, he was walking through and erased it. And how we don't need to draw things like that. And it was a light bulb. It was a light bulb.
Epic.
Epic.
Next story.
Collisions.
Okay. Collisions.
Head-on collisions.
Okay, there was one day where I ran into Jason. I think it was 3 times in one day.
My finger is really crooked. Look at that.
I ran into him like 3 times in one day. Seriously. Once, I think, before Spanish, and then after that we were walking to leadership from drama, and it was kind of funny. I was walking kind of beside him, and I moved my arms when I walk, right? And so he moved his arm back, and I moved my arm forward, and we like hit arms, and he glared at me, and he was like, "What's your problem?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I move my hands when I walk."
Is that such a crime?
That's a crime! And he was like, "You're a freak." And then, later that day, when I was leaving school after English, I was leaving school after English,
the 9th grade boys meeting after English, I guess.
Yeah, I was turning a corner and he was turning a corner, and we ran, like, head-on into each other. Yeah, I don't know if he remembers that, but I do.
Yeah.
It was pretty hilarious. I was laughing the whole
And then I have one too, except it wasn't Jason, it was Samuel. I think it was before athletics. Like, I was coming out of the locker room, with like Emily or somebody, and he was coming out, and so we were both going to opposite gyms, and because the bathrooms are like this, okay? And then, so I was coming out and he was coming out, and we were going opposite ways. But I was talking, I was laughing, I wasn't paying attention, so we go bam, and I like run into him. Wow, it made him mess up. And he's like, hello. And I'm laughing so hard, I just run to the gym and go tell Jalen. Because it was so funny.
And then when Steven
story. Okay. It was after lunch, and I was kneeling down in my backpack, I was getting my books out and everything, and I have my legs behind me. I've got long legs, I'm tall, what am I gonna do? And all of a sudden, I hear a thud, and I look over my shoulder, and Steven's on the ground. And I'm like, Steven, are you okay? What happened?
Like, his face is on the ground.
Like, bam. And I realized he tripped over my legs. And he just, like, pops back up like a jackrabbit or something. I don't know.
Bless his heart.
Oh, I love Steven so much, the poor guy. Oh,
funny.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Oh, April Fools.
April Fools.
That was the worst, one of the worst school days of my life.
Yeah, there were some weird things happening.
Oh my gosh! And I recorded that whole day in English, and I think I deleted it.
Yeah.
I recorded it, I had it
of course, a lot of, the teachers did a lot of different things, and we tried to do an April Fools on Mr. Squires,
it was
but
Russell's idea, actually.
It didn't work.
He
didn't fall for it. But the worst April Fools ever was Miss Fabers. In 9th grade English. It was horrible. It had most of us on for a loop there.
Yeah, like a lot of us, we didn't know whether to believe it, but she was being so serious. There was something inside of us that was like, she has to be joking. There's a first time for everything. She was asking us, have I ever pranked you guys? And the ones that had been in her class every year were like, no, but there's a first time for everything.
Yeah. And so what she did was she told us that she was going to be leaving. This was the fifth term. We're just coming in on our 6th term, the last term, our big paper coming up, and she said, "I'm leaving. You're gonna have a sub for the whole last term." And we were,
because her niece had just died, and
she said that she was gonna have to go and be with her brother and her sister-in-law and all that.
And like, where was it? Not Wisconsin. Where was it?
Somewhere
Somewhere far away.
Ohio.
Yeah, I think it was Ohio.
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 I don't know. It's that. Leave a comment.
If you know where Miss
You
Fabers'
know.
brother lives.
Anyway. And she said she was leaving, and it was a horrible
We were like,
joke.
I was crying. I was like, I'm
We
gonna
were so
cry.
upset. I
Because she was like, would I joke about something like this? Would I joke about this? And we're like, maybe.
And Samuel's all like, well, then swear on your, heart or whatever. And she's like, I can't do that. And of course, I mean, he was like claiming that he knew she was joking the whole time. And and then at the very end of the class,
she wrote on the marker board. We had to be really quiet or something. She wrote on the board
at the very
April
end.
Fools as we were like leaving.
Like
And we
were
start
walking out the
freaking
door.
out, and we are like telling everybody down the hall what she did to us.
It was so
And
horrible.
like the juniors who had been in her class before thought it was just hysterical.
Yeah.
And we're like, it was not funny. We thought she was dead serious, and we were gonna.
It was epic though.
Oh. And I was like, you're gonna have to accept our friendship request on Facebook and keep in touch with us.
Yeah. I mean,
it was
that far. Really.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was horrible. Next story.
We may have talked about this one in our last video, but
No, I don't think we did.
We didn't.
No.
Okay. We talked about the game.
It was the same day as our last video. We went to a basketball game.
It was like the last game.
Yeah, one of the last games. They were doing All Saints, and I decided to go with Hannah. And
it was the first game she'd ever seen.
Yeah, it was the first one I had ever, and the only one I ever saw all year.
And
I'm gonna try. And so, Paul was there. We sat with Paul.
Mm-hmm. Y'all knew that from the last one. We talked about that.
We talked about pretty much the whole day. But the epic thing that we wanted to talk about was Pet the Monkey. Because they were losing. Pretty bad.
All Saints, we can't beat them.
They kind of got slaughtered, and I was just like, no, poop a monkey, no.
Oh, I hurt myself.
And I felt, and I was just like, no, poop a monkey. And Hannah thought that I had said pet the monkey.
I was like, what's that mean?
And I was like, what? And so pet the monkey turned into something we would yell.
And it means the same thing as make a basket.
Yeah. We were like, do better, pet the monkey, make the basket.
Pet the monkey, Nathan!
Yeah.
We were like screaming names.
Jason,
go pet the monkey, pet the monkey!
Jason!
Pet the monkey with all your heart!
Yeah.
Just, we were making up all sorts of things like that.
We were so hyper that day, and I'm sure Paul could tell you.
He loves us. So, love you, Paul.
We all do.